This is Justin Pulitzer. This is a video supplemental for Netflix. It's January 25th, 2015. And Netflix was the first of the big momentum names to report earnings. And I had discussed kind of allowing it to be a pitch that goes by and then playing it afterward. My thinking on that is I just like to be the second mouse kind of. That's the one that gets the cheese. Sometimes the first one gets its neck broken. I didn't want to be that mouse. You can see, though, that Netflix was exhibiting a pattern of a bit of relative strength going into the print. It took out this little bit of a downtrend line. It had a little bit of short covering into the numbers, and that to me makes it a little bit of a less certain play into earnings, although you can see we did gap up over the 200 and the downtrend line and held. And I had discussed that someone had asked me on the stream, what should they do with Netflix now? And I had said that the play would be to buy it over this 414.68 to play for the gap fill. And that wound up happening pretty quickly, actually. It's now into that gap fill range. So I think you have to kind of start taking Netflix profits a little bit, because we're coming up and there'll be some responsive sellers about people who had been long the stock and then got nailed in this flush down. This was like over $100 move. Netflix had tried to rally back up, couldn't fill the gap, and then actually wound up taking out those lows, probably triggered some stops and such. So I do think that there would be some people up around this 448 to 450 area that are going to be interested in getting their, taking some money off the table. So to me, to first chase it here for the last 10 points or so is a little bit, it's a little bit late. The play was over this high, and to take profits up here at the gap fill. With that said, some of the other big momentum stocks are going to be reporting this week. They may be similar plays to buy up over the earnings gap day high in subsequent days, or to short below the earnings gap low, like if this gap lower on subsequent days for some follow through. So that's sort of what I'm thinking with regard to Netflix, and also about the other momentum stocks with their earnings. I do think that Netflix probably is going to make a run for the all-time highs. So I do think now it can be a buy the dips type of a stock. You don't necessarily want to chase rallies. You'll probably get somewhat of an opportunity. It'll probably go a little bit higher here into the gap fill, and then maybe go sideways or come down a little bit. I do think, again, though, now it can be a buy the dip stock again for a play of the all-time high and possibly 500. So we'll be looking to buy the dips again in that stock. Okay, let's have a great week, and cheers. Follow me on Twitter. My handle is @JustinPulitzer. If you have any questions about Netflix or the video, please ask. Cheers.